The hardest working person in the office is rarely the one who gets promoted. Asterisk. I know, that feels wrong. But stay with me, because what I'm about to show you isn't about working less. It's about working in a completely different direction. Two people walked into the same company on the exact same Monday morning. Same laptop, same salary, same manager. 5 years later, Kyle was introducing strategy to the boardroom. John was still asking permission to leave early on Fridays. And here's the part that will mess with your head. John actually worked harder. If you've ever looked around your office and thought, how did they get promoted before me? This video is going to feel uncomfortably personal, because most careers don't stall from laziness. They stall because people are playing the wrong game without realizing there are actually two games happening at work. Game number one is visible. Deadlines, reports, deliverables, metrics. This is a game most employees obsess over. But the second game, that one is invisible. Perception, visibility, positioning, relationships, and the people quietly rising through the ranks. They've been playing both games from day one. Today, I'm going to show you the first 6 quiet moves that changed Kyle's entire career trajectory while John stayed stuck in the exact same seat. And trust me, move number 5 is the one nobody talks about publicly. So stay with me. Kyle and John were both analysts, both smart, both reliable, both underpaid. But there was one difference nobody noticed at first. Every Friday afternoon, Kyle sent a tiny email to his manager. 3 bullet points. Here's what I completed. Here's what's moving forward. Here's where we may hit a bottleneck next week. That's it. 2 minutes. Meanwhile, John believed something dangerous. If I work hard enough, people will naturally notice. No, they won't, because work doesn't speak for itself. People speak for your work. And if leadership can't see your contribution basically doesn't exist in promotion conversations. Here's the scary part. Most promotions are discussed in rooms you'll never enter, which means your reputation has to enter before you do. Otherwise, your manager is sitting there saying, John? Yeah, I think he does stuff. Don't make your career depend on vague memory. Make your impact easy to repeat. Quick question for you. If your manager had to explain your value to a VP right now, could they do it clearly in 30 seconds? If not, that's your sign. And by the way, if this already feels a little too real, hit the like button. YouTube needs to push this to more people before another talented employee gets stuck for 5 years doing invisible excellence. Asterisk. John thought networking was fake. Kyle thought networking was memory. Big difference. See, John only talked to people when work required it. Kyle talked to people because he understood something subtle. Opportunities travel through humans first, not HR portals. One afternoon, Kyle grabbed coffee with a woman from operations named Melissa. No agenda, no manipulation, just curiosity. He asked about her team, her challenges, what projects stress her out most. That conversation lasted 18 minutes. 6 months later, Melissa recommended Kyle for a cross-functional leadership project that completely changed his visibility inside the company. John never even heard the opportunity existed. This is where careers quietly split apart. Most people wait until they need relationships before building them. That's like trying to dig a well after your house catches fire. Here's a simple challenge. Once a week, message one person in your company with no hidden agenda. Ask questions. Learn their world. Become memorable. Because the corporate world runs on one invisible currency: trusted familiarity. People promote people they mentally feel safe around. That's the truth nobody writes in employee handbooks. But here's where things get dangerous. Because visibility and relationships alone are not enough. Some employees become highly visible and still get passed over. Why? Because they sound like workers instead of leaders. And the next move changes that instantly. Manager: John, what are you working on? John: I've been updating spreadsheets and fixing reporting templates. Sounds responsible, right? Now watch Kyle. Same manager, same work. I'm streamlining reporting so the sales team can prepare for client reviews twice as fast next quarter. Same work, but one sounds like an assistant. The other sounds like leadership material. Here's the secret. Leaders don't think in tasks. Leaders think in impact. And once you understand this, you can never unhear it in meetings. Pay attention tomorrow. You'll notice two types of employees immediately. People describing activity and people describing outcomes. Guess which ones get promoted faster? Because executives don't reward effort alone. They reward perceived business value. This is bigger than corporate politics. It's communication psychology. Humans assign importance based on consequence. So when you speak, stop describing the hammer. Describe the house you're building. Nobody gets excited hearing, "I updated column D in Excel." Congratulations, spreadsheet warrior. Instead say, "This change reduces reporting delays for client team." Same task, different identity. And identity changes careers. Most employees avoid messy projects. Kyle hunted for them. Why? Because messy projects are where leadership visibility lives. One Monday morning, a disaster hit the company. Two departments were blaming each other. Deadlines slipping. Nobody wanted ownership. Silence filled the room. Then Kyle said 5 words that changed everything. "I can help coordinate this." Huge mistake? Sometimes. But also huge opportunity. Suddenly Kyle was in meetings with directors. Senior leadership learned his name. Executives watched how he handled pressure in real time. That one ugly project accelerated his career by almost 2 years. Here's the irony. The projects most people avoid are usually the ones that create the most visibility, because difficult problems act like spotlights. They expose everyone, especially future leaders. Now, quick disclaimer. Don't volunteer for everything. Otherwise, congratulations. You just unlock Burnout Premium Edition. Be strategic. Look for projects that are cross-functional, high visibility, leadership adjacent, difficult but survivable. That's the sweet spot. And if you're still watching right now, comment "move" below. Seriously, I want to know who's actually paying attention, because move number 5 is probably the most career-changing one in this entire video. Asterisk. John had mentors. Kyle had a sponsor. Massive difference. Mentors give advice. Sponsors give access. A mentor says, "You should apply for that opportunity." A sponsor says, "Kyle's ready for that opportunity." One gives guidance. The other risks political capital on your behalf. And most employees never realize this until it's too late. Kyle figured it out accidentally. After helping save that messy cross-functional project, a senior director named Rachel started noticing him. Not because he was flashy, because he solved problems calmly. He made her life easier. He communicated clearly under pressure. Months later, when leadership discussed a new management opening, Rachel said Kyle's name before he even applied. That is how careers accelerate invisibly, not magic. Advocacy. Here's how you earn a sponsor. Solve meaningful problems. Be reliable under pressure. Communicate clearly. Make leaders look smart. That last one matters more than people admit, because leadership remembers people who reduce chaos. And the moment someone influential trusts your judgment, your career enters an entirely different game. Asterisk. And we're only halfway through, because in part 2, I'm going to show you the moves that quietly separate future executives from everyone else, including why smart employees train their replacements, the hidden psychology behind asking for feedback, the wins file strategy almost nobody uses, and the final move that determines whether you stay stuck for 10 years or leave strategically into something bigger. Trust me, the second half is where the real game starts.